Don't let the views define you, man. Don't do it.
Don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
Turn it off.
Turn the shit off.
How we doing? Welcome to SpaceCat429 stream. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're all having fun, having a enjoyable, warm, safe, fed holiday season. I have something a little different built for today. I find it very interesting how many service members, people I've met on stream, off stream, throughout my career, whether it's active, reserve, veteran, retired people, how many of folks I've met that are just content creators in videos, games, all facets of entertainment. It literally amazes me every day, every time I meet somebody who is affiliated with the military, who is performing in some way. I'm inspired by them. I take cues from them all the time. I've learned so much from these folks in setting up this stream. That said, I wanted to start a segment on this channel that I am officially dubbing Vets in Video Games, podcast, interviews, whatever you want to call it, where I get military affiliated people who can discuss what their life is like in games or production. People can share their messages and their experiences, things that they do and why they do them. Creators can collaborate across communities, learn about one another, and I can just touch base with friends on topics that we're mutually interested in. And I wouldn't want to kick it off in any other way than with the person who has gotten me into streaming as my very first guest of the channel. And that person is ThuggBugg. You are on. Say hi to everybody.
What up, everybody? It's your boy ThuggBugg, aka Goku Bug, aka the guy who likes to go to the gym, aka whatever I feel like calling myself for the week. How y'all feeling?
What's up?
Y'all having a good holiday and all that good stuff.
ThuggBugg, it's just an honor to have you here. For everybody who does not know this great friend of mine, I met ThuggBugg a little less than a year ago, actually while we were on military exercise, which is perfect for this whole veteran theme. We've never met each other before, didn't really know each other. We were flying over the Pacific in a C-130, and he was sitting across from me, and I had a Switch in my hand, and I'm playing it, and I look up, and he's staring at me, and he's like, "Do you play video games?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I got a Switch." He's like, "No, but like, do you play video games?" And like he was asking me like it was a lifestyle, like he could like see the way I was just going to town on whatever game that I was playing, and just knew. And we got to talking, and he taught me a lot about his channel, just on the plane ride alone, not to mention after we got off. He taught me a lot about his brand, about what he does, about Twitch. I had kind of known what Twitch was. I think I had an account. I had like subbed to a couple people to support them and maybe watched a stream or two, but I never really participated much in the community. But after learning so much from him and learning about what he did and how he's built a community around his brand, I was hooked. I mean, video games, performing, chatting with an audience, just learning about all this stuff. It was, sign me up, right? Like I just knew I had to be doing this. So fast forward a few months later, he's helping me set everything up. He's pointing me in the right direction of equipment and what software is to get. And I've just been in awe of this man's positivity, his focus on mental health and resilience. He's a variety streamer. He plays a lot of games. I think right now he's focusing on COD, Modern Warfare 2. Without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself a little more before we go into some of the questions?
Again, y'all, for some people who don't know me and some people who do know me, I've been doing this Marine Corps thing for almost 17 years. And I've noticed a drastic change in myself from the first day I stepped on those yellow footprints till now. Deployed twice to Iraq, did all those cool freaking things. And for me, it's been one of those letdowns for some people where you get in the military and you do so much and you give so much to the military that you don't have time for yourself. And when you don't have time for yourself, you tend to forget about yourself and you tend to get lost and do a lot of stupid things and stuff like that. I've lost so many people due to mental health. Hell, I just lost somebody 3 weeks ago due to mental health. So it's like, to me, it's very important. I have a lot of different individuals in my community that suffer, or I wouldn't even say suffer, that go through stuff, because it's not a suffering thing. It's something you live with, where it's not necessarily something you suffer from. It's just something that you're dealing with, that come to my stream, and I want to be able to brighten their day no matter what they're going through, talk to them, get them through whatever it is they're going through. I always tell them I'm not a therapist, but I've been on this earth long enough to at least be able to give some type of advice to help you through what it is that you're going through. And I also get a lot of people like, dude, you love Dragon Ball so much. Why is that? Why is that? What is up with the whole Dragon Ball thing? Like, dude, it's like for
It's a
me,
lot. The first time I
yeah,
ever tuned in, seeing the setup you had, like I have a couple guitars, a piano, and like a box light. You have like thousands of dollars of Dragon Ball merchandise. It's impressive.
yeah. I've had people tell me that I am Goku in some way, and it actually that makes me feel some kind of way. But the reason I follow Dragon Ball and I love it so much is because as a kid, it was something that I watched that took me away from violence in Chicago, and it took me away from all the negative things that happened within my life. Because I mean, a lot of people don't know, man, but I grew up with people who did drugs, alcoholism, all types of stuff. My life, I could write a book, and it's the one thing that got me away from all of that, where I could see someone with so much positivity and so much strength defeat people who were just bent on just dominating and being evil, and how this person never gave up no matter how strong or they were. He would always come out on top. And for me, it was something that I looked up to. I want to help people, and I want them to become part of my family no matter what. And I want to put that out, that energy, that spirit. I want to put it out to other people, and just show that no matter what, how crazy things are, that you can do it.
You talk about your brand. You talk about helping people, spreading positivity, the emotional health building that you're doing. That must have started as such a challenge, especially like I can relate as a small creator, like trying to get an audience together and trying to build a community. It's a hard start. It's a very high cliff to climb before you get to that plateau and then the next series of cliffs. You seem to be doing pretty good so far. What were your biggest challenges in starting a community of mental health awareness and positivity, and how did that work for you?
I think for me, the hardest part was getting the people to believe that that's something that you're striving towards. Because everybody, like the crazy thing like in Twitch, the sucky part in Twitch is that people seem to put on certain things where it's like, okay, this is the new fad, this is the new game. Let's do this, let's do that to get people. Me, that's why I tell people I play off my emotions. I don't play towards what's the new hotness and things like that. So I've seen people who hashtag mental health in their stream, and it's a bikini stream or something like that. Which I mean, I don't knock you, you hustle, do whatever you want to do, but it's not about that. If you're going to be a mental health streamer, you're going to do something like that. Help someone. Don't just put it because it's the new fad of the day. But for me, I'm full transparent. I tell people all the time, my transparency means a lot to me because I don't want to lie. I don't want to say anything that seems like, oh man, he's just being this way. He's a character. No,
Mm-hmm.
what you see is what you get. And I would hope that even with you, Space Cat, that you've known me and we've interacted in real life, that everything that I say has always been a genuine thing. Like the energy I put out, all of that stuff, that's me. Like that's not me getting on here and just like, all right, well, today I'm gonna be super excited today. I gotta keep it 100 over 9,000 today. No, to me, that was the hardest part, is to getting people in here who realize that, hey, you know what, he's legit. He's not just like saying it. It's something that he fucking does, and that was the hardest part for me.
Yeah, with trying to help a community. Like I like to go into Destiny and help people through raids and dungeons, things that they haven't done before. Um, and I get that very tangible, like, oh my God, this was the first time I ever did that. This was the first time I ever low manned a dungeon or did this for the very first time. Never even done a dungeon before. No one's bothered to teach me. Thank you for teaching me. I get that immediate return. Yours seems a lot more ethereal, like hard to put a finger on when it comes to how many the people in your community that you're helping out, because you don't help them necessarily on the stream, or maybe you do. Maybe the conversation that you have is helping them, but I feel like a lot of what you do happens off the chat and past the stream and in between the streams. Rather, what would you say is the most rewarding part of all of that? Like, do you get to see some of those returns? Have you heard some of those stories? Like, how do you know what you're doing is basically meeting your goals?
So I got like maybe like two little stories. Geo Phoenix, he's a brother from another country. And he was like when I first started. Like when I first started the streaming thing and I was doing the whole mental health thing, I put my socials up and I say, hey, hit me up. Um, he hit me up on Instagram and was like, hey, I'm going through something. I just need somebody to talk to because the way I feel, I don't want to be here anymore. And I talked to him and I talked him off the ledge and everything. I even had another person I talked to on the way to work. I take 45 minutes to drive to work and I literally talk to him, not text. He called me on Instagram and he asked me my input about a situation. And I said, hey, you can either take it or you don't have to. Again, I'm not a therapist, but this is what I think and what I feel. And he was like, yo, ThuggBugg, thank you so much for that, man. I met one or two people in real life who never knew my name. They introduced me to their family as ThuggBugg. Like that name itself is funny to me. Uh, I've had several names with the ending of bug, and we'll get into that. I've helped a lot of people, and for that, that's why I say on my socials, I always tell people, hey, get my socials. If you hit me up with a message, I'll talk to you. I mean, I've sent gifts to people. Hell, Bree shot you. I sent her a whole cash app to something so she can get something for her stream. I sent my homie Glow something. Like I don't have a problem like sending things and I do giveaways and all that, but if I have it, I want to share it with people.
Probably one of the odder things about what we do as content creators is how that relates to sort of our military profile. How do you reconcile like your creator life with like your military life? Because I'm sure they mesh every now and again. It's not just like me that you meet in the C-130. Hey, you game, I game. This is cool. What's it like meeting everybody else in the military, letting people know you're a creator?
So the cool thing about being in the military is you would think being in the military I'd have like 9,000 followers right now already. But for me, in the position I'm in, because I am for some people don't know, I'm an E7 gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps. But I'm a leader. I have almost 60 people that look up to me and rely on me to make decisions in order to get them where they need to be. So I'm constantly busy with making decisions every day, all day. So when I come home, I don't want to do that. But I have to because I got two boys and a
Hey, you
girl
got
on
a
the way.
family.
Congrats. It's one of those things where because I do that all day, I'm currently an Oscar for my unit, and an Oscar is a individual who gives resources and things like that to help with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So I transitioned into something to help younger Marines. So this is already something that I've been trying to put out there a lot earlier to help people with what it is that they do. This is I feel like this is my calling in a way. So my Marine Corps life and this also meshes. And sometimes I go on rants about shit that pisses me off at work. And I do that on Mondays usually. It's mental health Mondays is
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I do. So if anybody ever want to tune in, talk about whatever they're going through, let's vent. I want to help the Junior Marines. I want to help my fucking like staff NCOs, officers, things like that. Like I constantly preach this to everybody else and let them know that this it's it may be hard now, but it gets easier over time. Hell, I'm still dealing with shit. I'm still suffering and everything like that. So it's like I strive on being a unique individual. I strive on letting people know that you can be different. Be different is perfectly fine. Being normal is not. Because being normal to me is fitting in with what everybody else in society wants you to be. So I'm all about being different, being an individual, fitting outside that box because ultimately those people are what made the world a better place. Those people are what made the world what it is. Everybody, every genius has always been different.
Hey, that's
Like,
content in a nutshell. I mean, you got
yeah,
to be
like
different. You can't be the same as him. Why would I watch you over the guy who's got 1,000 more followers than you that you're copying? That's not what this is about. Like if we all wanted to be popular and be the next ninja, I'm sure we could probably just watch everything he does and copy it. But you should be your own thing. What's like the funniest thing that ever happened? Like when you were in the military and you told somebody like, I stream on Twitch or I'm a content creator.
so it's almost as funny as when I tell people that I was a drill instructor.
You
Yeah.
were wait, you were a DI?
See, that's what I get every time.
You were when were you? You never told me that. You were a DI.
I don't, I,
Where? When?
I don't tell anybody that. That see your reaction. That's the reaction I get.
I'm just
That's the
it
reaction I get.
makes sense. No, seriously, because on the one hand, it's like, mental health, that is the wrong place for mental health. But for theatrics and like getting out there and telling a story and like really shaping people, like the drill field is probably the best place on the planet to do something like that. We know where you came from, we know what you're doing. Where are your goals? Like, what is your channel's growing, man? Like, if you're not partner soon, I'm going to be very surprised. What, though, are you working on to get towards what kind of goal? What do you want out of this channel in the short term, in the long term? Where do you see yourself going?
So at the beginning of this whole thing, I would prefer to have 2,000 legit people who follow me that tune in every time, rather than having a number of 9,001 people and only 10 people show up. My goal is to have legit a community of people who show up every time.
We probably didn't discuss this. You're in Japan right now. You are currently stationed abroad in Okinawa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
I am.
which is where we met.
Yes, we did. You're back in the States.
I am back here
So
in California, like a spoiled
I
little
know he
rich.
told y'all the story, but he did. It's hard for him to tell you what I was thinking. So I see
By all
him
means, go for it.
on the C-130. First of all, it's fucking it's making all this noise.
Someone was talking about like the what was it? The C-130 best
What is
networking opportunity. Hi, can you hear me?
you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. Hey, what are you playing? You're like, I'm playing on the Switch. Yeah, but do you game? Yeah, I play games. No, I mean, do you really game? Like, like, is this something you really do? And you're just like, yeah. I was like, oh, cool. When we get off of this thing, we should talk. Okay.
I think we probably had a good like 10 or 15-minute call just trying, and by the end of it, I just had no voice. I think I had to go on vocal rest for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour.
Like we were literally screaming, and he was like literally in front of me, like in front of me. This is how far he was.
That close.
Yes, yes, and we're still like, hey, what? I can read your lips, but I don't really know what you're saying. Like it was like one of the most ridiculous. And all in the plane, all you hear is,
oh god, it's so loud.
And I'm just like, bro, I can't wait to get off this thing. And it's cold. I'm just like, fuck.
Twitch. Yeah, I know you stream mainly on Twitch. I think you've gone over to YouTube. Why Twitch? Or like why games? Like, is it because mental health and gaming go hand in hand for you? Is it because this is the easiest way for you to like use a medium to speak your story? Like why games and why Twitch?
So for me, when it comes to Twitch, I've been on Twitch longer than I've been streaming.
Like you were following people and interacting in other people's chats, you mean?
Yeah, I was doing that a lot, and I was very nervous, and I wanted to do it. And I always told my wife, I'm like, babe, Miss Kiss and Sweat, hey, listen, I want to do this. I want to do it, but I'm afraid. I don't know if I'm gonna have anybody come and follow. I don't know if anybody's gonna like my content. I'm just starting out. I don't have anything.
Such a daunting feeling, like that first getting over that initial hump.
I was like, you know what? So I just started streaming on Xbox. I didn't have a camera or nothing, and I was streaming on Xbox, but nobody came. Nobody came. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather concentrate on something else. So I make videos. So I made a lot of videos, Instagram videos, things like that. People liked it. So then I was like, all right, about another year later, I was like, all right, I think I really want to do this. I want to help people. I kind of want to do this. And she was like, do it. She's always supported me. She's always like, just do it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but it's gonna cost some money. Okay. She's like, well, you gotta spend money to make money. That's how she says it. But I'm like, I don't want to do it for the money, She's like, well, put it back into your community, which I do. I always put it back into my community.
How so?
So I do giveaways. I give away a lot of money. Like sometimes I give people stuff. I started with this community called Blackout Gaming community. Not Peoples was the queen. She was the one that I looked up to when it came to for some of y'all who don't know Not Peoples. Um she's on YouTube now and on Twitch. But yeah, she has like a radio talk show host type of voice, and she's really really awesome. But yeah, so I was in her stream and I supported her. I see how she do things, and her community helped me start like little things and talk to me through Discord and all that to help me get through with what it is that I was doing. And I started it, and she shouted me out. She came, she rated, she supported. She did a lot of stuff to help me with my stream. And then it started going really well. It was kind of like a basic setup. I had a laptop, kind of like I was telling you, use the gaming laptop, man. That thing works.
Mm.
Get you them.
Oh, so
And
she's like my you in this
yeah,
case.
she was my Yoda, man. So yeah, she was helping me with that, and her community was helping me, Kingston and a bunch of other individuals. And it started going. They came, they supported. So all the OG people who've been here for a year and stuff like that, Millie Jackson, all of them, they was helping me, and I helped them on the long run at the end afterwards. And then I got my first gaming lab, or gaming fucking PC, and then I met Instill. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't even know how I met Instill. I was just going randomly. I think I came in through a raid or whatever, and I saw Instill, and I said,
That's the example.
I love him. I I love him. I want to marry him. I'm like, he's the one. He's the one. And I was in his stream. I've been supporting. I sent them a Gogeta figure. Like we've been vibing, connecting, talking, all this stuff. He was like, hey, I want you to put out he thing. He gave me an application to his stream team. He said, put an application into my stream team. So I put an application in. They accepted me. They interviewed me. They said, hey, this is what we could do to help you. This is what you could do to bring your fucking gaming up and all that and whatnot. He's the reason why my shit looks the way it looks now. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I was like, if I'm gonna be even categorized as being one of Instill's fucking peeps, I need to be up there. And I was like, I'm gonna start doing it. And from there, he was helping me with my resolution, my cameras, lighting, giving me all information, hints, things like that and whatnot. And he's like, dude, ThuggBugg, I'm gonna be honest with you, your shit's better than mine. I'm like, bullshit, don't you fucking lie to me. Shut your mouth. Don't you fucking say that. But every time he comes in my stream or I go in there, he's like, ThuggBugg. He goes nuts. And I'm like, yeah, it's still. I love him so much. The whole get fit with bits movement. These are things that I for me, I wanted to put out there to like get people to do more. To get people to do more. And mental health is as much as the physical is important too. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's doing a little bit or whatever the case is. That's why the whole Get Fit with Bits movement was created for me, because that's my brand. You hashtag Get Fit with Bits, you're gonna see ThuggBugg. No matter what platform you're on, it's gonna show ThuggBugg. And that's one big thing for me, man. I always feel like I can learn from somebody. It doesn't matter what it is. Like
What's
at
the
the end of
biggest
the day,
thing you
like
learned? I guess from Instill. So there's that. Second biggest thing.
the second biggest thing I learned. Um, don't let the views define you, man.
Okay. How
Just
so?
keep going. Just keep going.
As a
Like,
person who fastidiously counts every single view that I get,
don't do it.
don't do
Don't do
it.
it.
Turn it off.
Turn the shit off. I
Yeah.
went from having my shit on to turning it off. I don't even pay attention to shit no more. I just
Why?
because it makes you feel like it's a mental thing. You may say you don't care about it, but it is. It's a mental thing. We all
Oh,
care
I
about
definitely
who's
care.
watching us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't care. Don't worry about it. Just do what you do and people will come. It's like that old saying, if you build it, they will come. You know what I'm saying? But I was worried about that for a while, and I'm like, dude, I only got one person in here. I'm just talking to this one person, but that one person's not talking because they're lurking. You know, for me,
Which
it's
is
like,
okay. It's totally okay.
yeah, it's okay. I love
Yeah.
lurkers. Most of the people in my stream are lurkers. Trust me, because the time I get on, everybody's fucking sleep. But they up look. They'll. This is how I imagine people are lurking in my stream. Notification.
That was a very well done recreation. I
I'm
believed
just.
it.
This is. I swear, this is how I feel like every time. Or somebody going to their computer, they see a notification on the phone. At the end of it, I'm just like, I don't pay attention to the numbers, man. Turn this shit off. Don't have it up. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help because every person that comes in your stream will be a genuine viewer.
I
And
gotta
I'm
say
trying to help
too,
her.
like it's awesome that a year ago I would have 90% of what you said tonight. I have no idea, and there's probably a whole bunch of people in my audience that are still like trying to figure out some things, whether it's Dragon Ball Z things, streaming things, your specific community things. But the fact that I know what you're talking about from watching your stream, I know the people that you're talking about because some of them participate. Like Jaguar's chatting in my stream right now, as she probably is in yours. I think, to me personally, meeting people from across communities has been their most rewarding part about Twitch. That I get to dive into
Yeah.
people's chats, have conversations with people I never met, see them come into my stream, talk about things, learn stuff about other people, help people with things. It's over the top, and a lot of it started with you when I got started out, and you accepting me into your community. So for everybody watching, ThuggBugg does not just practice or does not just preach. He indeed practices it. I'm living proof that you can take somebody from a starting point, bring them into the community, push them on their way, more push them out of the nest, and then continue to foster them as they grow. So I am,
You're a
eternally
peacock.
grateful.
I gotta let you fly, bro. You're a peacock.
We are
Yeah,
probably
that's
running out
cool.
of time here, but I wanted to give you the floor just one more time and say if there's anything we didn't cover tonight that you wanted to talk about, any message that you wanted to leave off with, floor is yours.
Continue to try to be the best person you can be. You may not hit the mark today, but you'll definitely try tomorrow. And guess what? If you can't do it tomorrow, the day after. All right. The things are endless. Things are endless. And I feel like in an instant that for some of you, um, that it's the greatest thing ever. Always try to be that light to somebody who's in the dark.
Yeah.
I definitely do, man. Thank you for allowing me to be in your interview. Be the first one to kick this thing off. I'm definitely gonna be tuning in for more people. And maybe one day I can come up with some cool thing like you and do something like that and invite you.
All right.
I'm all about it.
I think that is probably all the time we have for today. Thank you one last time, ThuggBugg, for your story. Thank you for sharing your experiences. I hope you inspired others to, whether it's going through their own mental health journey or getting into the content creation space. I hope that you were able to speak to a few more people today. For my audience who's not yet following our good friend ThuggBugg, you can find him on twitch.tv/ThuggBugg. That's one word, ThuggBugg, 2 G's in each word. Or on Instagram at ThuggBugg23 and at Twitter at GokuBug. Anyways, yeah, that's all the time we have here on Vets and Video Games, episode 1. I think personally a success. For everybody here, you can find me on SpaceCat, streaming Destiny Live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. You find me at twitch.tv/SpaceCat429 and on Instagram and Twitter at SpaceCat429. It has been my absolute pleasure to host this interview, to have you here with us, to ask questions, to hear our stories.
Hey, Cat, thank you for being on fire, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You had enough fire for the both of us, my friend. Appreciate you all. Meow.
Deuces.